I am Alexander Flame, aka the Overman. Today, we have turned heel, and I'm gonna beat up some quitters. Let's watch this goofy. The truth about Amway, WorldWide, DreamBuilders, MLM horse races. Damn, that forehead is huge.
A multi-layered deep one to get into. As a lot of you probably already know, I used to be part of an MLM, and it was the biggest, nastiest, meanest, biggest, baddest of them all. I'm sure you know the one.
That is incorrect. I am the biggest, baddest, meanest of them all.
What I'm talking about, and if you don't, it's called Amway, but more importantly, we're going to be talking about the real
this is my championship belt, the Gucci belt,
which is one of Amway's sister companies, WorldWide Group, or WorldWide DreamBuilders. So I'm just going to start from the very beginning because I've tried to script this video so many times, and there's just so much.
She's talking about me.
I need to just throw it all up for you. Little me has just graduated high school. I know I don't want to go to college. My entire life, ever since I was a little girl, I knew I wanted to be a big singer-songwriter ever since I figured out that that was a talent that I had, but I never thought that it was something tangible or possible or feasible. I'm so young, the field is so saturated, there's so many people who are bigger and badder than me, they're more talented, they've been at it for longer. Everyone wants to be a rock star because no one wants to work a 9 to 5. I should probably start
no shit.
Looking at more realistic options. And I'm trying to discover myself spiritually again after this whole scenario with an ex-boyfriend that I never recovered from. So I started working at this local metaphysical crystal shop. One day this girl comes in who ended up becoming one.
She starts working at a metaphysical shop, crystals, because she's trying to find herself because her boyfriend broke up with her. 304.
One of my best friends later. Her name is Sam. Shout out to you, Sam, if you're watching this. Oh, subscribe to her on YouTube. I'll list her channel. She does like travel vlogs and she's so cute. We ended up really
subscribing to that. She sucks.
Shop. We ended up exchanging numbers and just talking more. One day I was talking to her about how I just don't know what I want to do with my life and how I felt like I was losing myself. She was like, I'm friends with this couple who helps me with my finances. I don't know if that's something you're interested in. And I was like, oh my God, I suck with money. Sign me up. Next thing you know,
Hold up for a second. What? You mean to tell me that you got caught with that weak ass pitch? Somebody told you that a couple helps them with their finances, and you said, I need to sit down with them. Nobody mentioned being a millionaire. No one mentioned meeting Alexander Flame. No one mentioned a couple with a Gucci championship belt. Nothing. You said there's a couple that's going to help you with your finances. They're going to help you save money. And you sat down with them. That explains why you're making this video. Like, that's like the weakest pitch ever. That wouldn't have worked on me personally. There's a couple that helps me save money at Walmart. You know what I mean? Like, what? And you sat down with them. So you're already a recipe for a disaster, to be honest with you. Like, what the hell? A couple is going to help you with help you save money. That's why you sat down with them. Not because you had these dreams, not because you wanted to be rich, not because they didn't say retire young. Like, what? Come on now.
She's calling me back a couple days later, telling me that she put in a good word for me. They don't charge anybody to help them with their finances. They just want to do it out of the kindness of their heart. And so because of that, they're really picky about who they help. Samantha invites me to a coffee shop because she had some questions that apparently the couple was asking about me and they wanted to know a little bit more about me. And she started asking me some questions like, are you a free thinker? Are you easily influenced by other people's opinions? And then at some point she asked me, have you ever heard of the term network marketing? She basically described.
Bro, clearly she's not a free thinker if she sat down with someone because they said that they're going to help her save money.
Described it to me as if you go to Starbucks, you get a caramel macchiato, you're sipping it at work, and your coworker says, ooh, that drink looks really good. What is that? Where did you get it? And you're like, oh, it's a caramel macchiato from Starbucks.
I just train these niggas, bro. I'm sorry.
For Starbucks. That was the analogy that was used. At the end of this meeting, she hands me a book called Who Moved My Cheese. This was a book that
I know. I think I know who gave her that book.
In financial literacy class. When she showed me this book, I was like, oh my gosh, I love that book. It's one of my favorites. And she was like, that's great. They want you to read it again, and then you can tell us about your takeaways. There was a series of meetings like this. And then finally, she was like, sweet, you get to meet them now. They're doing a meeting. There's going to be a lot of people like you who are learning for the first time, and a lot of people like me who are already being helped by them, but they're just going to hear the information again just because repetition helps you, ingrain things. We go to this office building, and there was this really charming, confident speaker at the front of the room. And he was like, you're not going to understand any of this information I'm about to give you that's about to change your life unless you understand the mindset behind it. The only cool
Pause. She just looks like the type of nigga that went to that meeting and was like, oh, I loved it. I love the speaker. Oh, I just like one of those weirdos that was just extra hyped for no reason and like quit in 2 weeks. Like she just looks like, hold on, my championship is slipping. But she just looks like that kind of person. You know what I mean? Like look at her for a second and just imagine her at her first board plan afterwards. You know what I mean? Like she just looks like the kind of person that's like, oh, the speaker was so dope.
People are gonna get the mindset. If you're not getting the mindset, this isn't for you, that's fine. If you don't want to give yourself and your family a bright future, but this is the Cool Kids Club, was basically
the KKK is my meeting.
It almost gives you this sense of like, I want to be like him, and I want to be good enough to be noticed by him because that means something about me. That means that I'm cool too. There's even like a big.
Okay, she just said that she. We're just talking about free thinking. This bitch just went to a board plan and said she wanted to join because she wanted to be cool to this random dude that just did the board plan.
Fancy introduction from someone else before you hear from that speaker, just talking up about how cool the speaker is going to be and how you should be honored to be in his presence and how this is exclusive proprietary information that he's about to give you that 99% of the world will never get to hear. Whoever invited you into the room thought so highly of you that you got to be here that night. So this guy rambles on for like 2 hours about not having a quitter mentality.
Come on, he rambled on, but you just said that you thought he was hella cool.
Up, gives you a little pep talk, makes you feel on top of the world. After the pep talk, he then goes over a little board plan, is what they call it. You have your own store, but then if someone else wants to own their own store, cool, you get to teach your friend how to own his own store, so on and so forth. And then he draws out this little, oh, but don't worry, it's not a pyramid scheme.
Okay, come on. I feel like he didn't draw out the pyramid. You know what I mean? I feel like if you're in an MLM, everyone's already crying about pyramids. I feel like he probably didn't draw out a pyramid. I don't think I've seen that before, but that's hilarious.
Because you don't actually take away money from any of the people below you. The company that we work with pays you extra, but it doesn't take anything away from the people you're helping. I'm gonna do a whole separate video on the whole education process for Amway, so stay tuned. They take a step further as to tell you, don't look it up by the way, because if anyone online says anything negative about this company, it's only because there's some fat Joe Schmo who's 35 and still living in his mom's basement and doesn't work a day in his life, and he's afraid of hard work.
Is her name Joe Schmo? It's Rainy Fairy.
They finally revealed the name of the company. By the way, it's Amway, this company that has a huge reputation for being sleazy. But, and then they go on and ramble.
I feel like niggas don't know what Amway is until they look it up, to be honest.
More about why it's not a pyramid scheme and about how they use it differently than the other people who use Amway. It's not Amway's fault. It's the people who don't use it for good things. But they are people who use it for good things. So you can trust them, but not other Amway people. Only them. After all that, they're like, here's all the reasons you should do this opportunity, and then they go off about how great it is and how you can accomplish any of your wildest dreams. This is the door that makes all other things possible, and it's the only way. Then they flip the script and talk about how horrible it will be for you and what it will mean for your sad life if you don't do this opportunity. Oh yeah, you could go about your daily life and never accomplish your dreams. You don't have to do this and let your dad die at his job. He just basically guilt trip you, and they tell you that your life is going to be shitty and worthless, and you're never going to accomplish a single thing, and you're
She's
going to be
capping. I'm sorry. I feel like no one told her that. You know what I mean? Like no one said either you're going to do this business or your dad's going to die at his job. Like, what are you saying? You know what I mean? Like, what did you imagine? You just imagine like, oh, if I don't build this business, my dad's going to be at his cubicle and he's just going to drop down and die. And you felt guilt tripped by that. And that's why you started your business. Bro, come on now.
9 to 5 for the rest of your life if you don't do this. So naturally, I was like, oh, of course I'm one of the cool people with the winner mentality. Of course I can do this for my family. Because fun fact about me, ever since I was a little girl, I've always wanted to be a hero. So when they were like, dude, you have the potential to like bless
Did you want to be fat
everyone
when you grew up too?
I was like, this is my chance, my moment to be a hero. This is what's going to turn my whole life around. Since I've been in this rut, this is the answer. And they talk about how they're going to give you like personal coaching and mentorship to help you with all of your problems. I felt so special, like I made it into this really cool secret club. I was especially in like a horrible state of mind because I had just gone through a nasty breakup 2 days before this. I was just like, God, I'm ready for the next step in my life. I'm gonna become rich and have a better life, and I'm gonna make my ex wish that he was still with me. This was the answer to me. So naturally, I joined. They launched me into business. A couple days after I launched was what they call a
Okay. Hold up for a second. She just said that she joined an MLM so that she could get back at her ex. That makes no sense. So she thought she was gonna be rich overnight. You know what I mean? Like an MLM is not that kind of business, bro. Like, I'm sorry. I don't care if you're in an MLM, if you hate MLMs. An MLM is not the kind of business that you're gonna get rich overnight with. There's plenty of businesses that you can get rich overnight with. MLM is not one of them. But, I mean, blame the school system. Don't blame the board plan.
This was the family reunion function, is what it was called.
Yeah, yo, was that her at the family reunion? Hold up.
State of mind because I had just gone through a nasty breakup 2 days before this. I was just like, God, I'm ready for the next step in my life. I'm gonna become rich and have a better life, and I'm gonna make my ex wish that he was still with me. This was the answer to me. So naturally, I joined. They launched me into business. A couple days after I launched was what they call a major function. This was the family reunion.
Hold up. Who is that? Bro, who is that? Who was that? 2022? Where was I in 20? I don't think I was there. Bro, look at her. I can't tell which one's her. I think that's her right there. Bro, she's literally smiling cheek to cheek, like ear to ear, hella happy. And you're sitting here making it like a bad video, acting as if you had like a bad experience, acting as if it's horrible. Like, this nigga's literally standing, I think that's her upline right there. Smiling and shit. And these are the kinds of people, bro. These are the kinds of people that, I feel like that's part of building people business, is you guys deal with like this.
Function is what it was called, which was held in Las Vegas in a giant stadium. You go here and all the MLMs have these, but they tell you ours is the only one. This lasts a whole weekend. So we're in this stadium all day from morning to night for 3 days. So the people who got in first, who were at the top of the pyramid scheme, tell their rags to riches stories, and
the people who got in first. What? At the top of the pyramid scheme. What? Bro. Okay, so were you saying like the niggas that joined like the 1960s were up there that joined first? These are how uneducated these people are. They think like, they just automatically think that you have to join first, and those are the people that are the richest. That's not how that works. MLMs are such a tree. There's a whole bunch of motherfuckers in this business, right? And to become successful in that business, you need to add value to that marketplace. So moving product, building your team, teaching your team how to move product, the basis of MLM. Those are the people that you saw speak. And with this giant forehead, this big ass forehead right here, you think that they got in first. How, bro, Amway's been a company for a long, long time. And I'm sure there was young people that were speaking on that stage. You feel me? There was hella young people speaking on that stage. And you mean to tell me they got in when they were like 4 years old? Bro, it's called work. It's called work. Do the work. No one wants to do the work. They just want to sit there and assume, oh, it's the niggas that got in first. That makes no sense. There's probably niggas the same age as you speaking on that stage.
They basically hype you up. This can solve all of your problems because A, B, and C. My life sucked before this, and then I did this. Now I'm a millionaire, and I'm wearing this really fancy ball gown, and I'm married to a hunk.
Yeah, but they're not rocking the Gucci championship belt like I am.
I'm in love with, and we have 5 kids that we have this amazing relationship with.
I have more kids than them too.
Opportunity. It's basically just a little convention of brainwashing for 3 days straight. So that's what I did. So the rules of WorldWide group, they call the rules core. You're supposed to read a self-help book for at least 15 minutes a day, but not just any self-help book.
Hold up, these niggas told you to read? You're saying that you were in a cult because niggas told you to fucking read. Bro.
It has to be one from their specific list. And if you have a book that helps you, but it's not on their list, then you're not supposed to read that. You can, but...
They act like the list is like some kind of like sketchy ass list of like the nigga from Amway wrote it. Nigga, how to fucking drink the Kool-Aid. Like when I was building, it was like books from like Jocko Willink, Simon Sinek, like your basic everyday self-help books that niggas read even if they're not in Amway.
But only after you've read a book from their list. They weren't my type of self-help books. They were
Dale
all
Carnegie.
very like grind for your future until you drop dead. You have to tell your coaches
What?
everything, and you have to send
What
them
are
out.
they saying? What books were you reading? What? Grind for your future until you drop dead. And send your coach a message. What?
For at least 15 minutes a day. But not just any self-help book. It has to be one from their specific list. And if you have a book that helps you, but it's not on their list, then you're not supposed to read that. You can, but only after you've read a book from their list. They weren't my type of self-help books. They were all very like grind for your future until you drop dead. You have to...
Okay, so you say they're not your kind of self-help books. So your kind of self-help isn't grinding. Just say it. You should just get out there and be like, I don't like to work. I don't believe in work. I like to eat Big Macs. I love the McDonald's new Big Arch. I can tell by the way that you just love to eat that those aren't your kind of books. You look like you don't like to work. So, yeah, maybe those weren't your kind of self-help books because the self-help books they give you are like the most basic ass self-help books that you can only get at Barnes & Noble, bro.
Have to tell your coaches everything, and you have to send them at least one voicemail a day. You aren't allowed to make a financial decision without consulting your coach. If someone just told you all this, you'd be like, oh.
Right, because these niggas are probably trying to help you. You know what I mean? Look, your eyes literally going inwards right now because you're probably mind blown. You're confused. The pitch that got you was, hey, there's this couple that's going to help you save money, and you're crying because you didn't want them to send a message about what is it, how to save money, because you probably weren't building your business.
Holy frick, that's insane. I would never do that. That's very culty. But
well, you did it. You sat down to do that.
If you're actually in the room with the people, these are like professionally trained salespeople who like are very good at manipulation. And
okay, that's crazy. They're professionally trained, and you literally have access to the same exact tools they have. Bro. What are you saying? Bro, you just took like a massive L.
Gaslighting and brainwashing. A lot of people tend to victim blame. The thing is, like, most of them actually think they're doing the right thing. People think that they're helping people. Most of them don't know that they're in something bad. They're all very brainwashed people. If someone told me all this before I joined, I would have been like, hell no, this is really weird and creepy, but that's not how I was.
How are they in something bad, bro? Okay, how many niggas eat at McDonald's every day? We saw the Epstein files, you know what I mean? We saw all the other shit that came out. Motherfuckers are going to McDonald's every day and eating human meat. And they don't know they're partaking in something bad. People are listening to trash-ass music. People are supporting OnlyFans, watching porn, and they don't know they're participating in something bad. but there's people in a room that are trying to become successful with their life, whether they make it work or they don't. At least they're trying. At least there's people trying. You're literally sitting here saying that people trying is bad. Bro, delete your channel.
I was introduced to it. They're very particular about how they introduce everything. They feed it to you little by little. Jonestown didn't just start with, hey, do you want to drink this poison Kool-Aid and die? Like, no one would have joined the cult. It starts out looking like something good. They advertise it as personal growth and development. Rule number 3 is you have
motherfuckers just jump to saying it's a cult because they took an L, bro. Listen, if you're this goofy, I'm sorry. There's motherfuckers that will get up on stage and say, anyone can build a business. I don't believe that. Look at this motherfucker, bro. You got pitched because someone told you they'll help you save. You thought they'd help you save money at Walmart. So they'd help you get you like coupons. Okay. And then you're saying it's a cult because they told you to read a book and make sure you're not fucking spending your money on some stupid shit. And the motherfucker that you're supposed to be talking to is supposed to be, I don't know how, where everyone's at, but I'm assuming it was someone that was probably financially successful. And you're crying because they're trying to help you. And then saying that these are things that you would never do. Come on now. This is why I turned heel.
Listen to an audio of speech from one of those big stadium functions I told you about. You're required to listen to at least one of them a day. They're just constantly feeding this shit to you. One of the other rules is share your story with at least one person a day. Try to recruit somebody. They would give you a little script that you had to
try to recruit somebody. But you do that when you joined and you were happy. You were smiling ear to ear. We saw you. You posted your own picture smiling ear to ear, knowing that you had to go recruit people. And now you're crying because you had to recruit people.
Copy the homework, but change it a little so they don't know you're part of a pyramid scheme.
And I don't give a fuck what anyone says, bro. I don't want anyone to blame her upline because motherfuckers like, well, maybe their upline didn't educate them properly. No. If you join a fucking MLM, you're supposed to fucking recruit. I don't care what you call it. Oh, we're building relationships. We're kissing their anuses. We're fucking smooching on their cheeks. I don't care what you call it. What do you mean recruiting? What do you mean a prospect? You're digging for gold? Listen, any fucking MLM business, any business in general requires duplication. Whether you hire employees or you want to, obviously MLM, you have to duplicate yourself. So the owner does most of the fucking work in the beginning, and then you duplicate. But the difference between an MLM and a job is when I recruit employees to work for me, they don't have the same opportunity that I do. If I have an MLM and I recruit a motherfucker to work alongside me, that person can surpass me in growth, in finances. They can surpass me in all different kinds of ways. It's not you know what I mean? They could go diamond and I could still be at like 150 PV, still having to go out and recruit niggas. And they could be retired on a yacht and they're below me. That's different. My employees, they don't have that opportunity. They're going to fucking work. What the fuck do you mean you're sick? Bitch, go to work. I don't care. I'm playing fucking Call of Duty and you're sitting here crying saying that you have a tummy ache. Go to work. But you're crying because you had to go recruit. This is insane. Look, she's still cross-eyed. Bro, what the hell?
What? Those little voicemails I was telling you about, those are called Kates from the app called Communicate. They would basically just send little motivational things that you had to listen to every day. So you were like 24/7 consumed in all of this. Anyone else that they're helping?
You're consumed in motivation. Hold on, my championship belt is falling off. But you mean to tell me that you were pissed because you had to listen to motivational shit?
At those board plan meetings, you're not allowed to talk to them outside of those board plan meetings. You're not allowed to talk to them. When I was in this, it started out really innocent. Any type of cult does start out very innocent. It's not some weird nutcases that join these things. Anyone
you're a nutcase, bro.
It doesn't look
I think
like
that you were the nutcase.
In robes, sacrificing goats around a bonfire. It looks like something totally normal and good. I had just moved in with to people I thought were my best friends at the time, but they turned out to not be that. There was a lot of drama and a lot of craziness. At first, it started out as a really good thing that I was part of this because I was getting advice about how to hopefully repair things with my roommates, and I was reading self-help books every single day. As things got progressively worse with my roommates at the time, I would just spend more and more time away from our apartment recruiting people. It boosted confidence because I felt like I was creating this amazing life for myself and my family. It was really innocent at first, and it actually was building my character and helping me grow up a little faster. The coach is the person who you send your Kates to, usually. You basically ask all your questions to them, and they do your meetings for you. That was how I met one of my best friends named Amber. She was my coach. Meeting Amber and Samantha were one of the few good things that came out of this experience. She became like my best friend. I was opening up to her about things that I couldn't open up to anyone else about. I was so lucky she was my coach because no one would have listened to me with such an open mind and open heart and just not judged me for.
Isn't that crazy, bro?
What?
Isn't that fucking crazy? Like, this bitch is literally saying how she opened up to her coach, how her coach is her best friend, how no one listened to her, and the motherfuckers listen to her, and this bitch is going on look at this bitch is going on YouTube making a negative video about her. Like,
for the shit that I opened up to her about. If my mentors, we're gonna call them J and K, if J and K had been my coach at the time, the type of advice that they would give versus Amber just were not the same at all. I wanted to be like J so badly. So J and K are a couple. K was the more like timid one who was just kind of submissive to J. He would just kind of agree with everything that J said. But J was more outspoken and confident and bold, and I saw that in me, and so I just wanted to, I wanted him to notice me. I want to be the little teacher's pet. We were
so she wanted to holler at the bitch's man.
Taught if we hang around our upline all the time and who we want.
Bro, this is big. Okay, what I'm assuming happened is this bitch probably wanted to fuck her upline, and he's probably a wife jack, so he didn't fuck her. And that's why she's making this video mad. She probably quit because her upline want to fuck her.
Want to be like in our upline, you become like them, and the more likely you are to be successful like them. So we were basically taught to try to be exactly like them, and that's how I was with Jay. Jay was like my role model. I just had so much gratitude for what I thought was the best opportunity someone could ever give me. I remember telling Amber, her upline diamonds don't even know my name, but they will. And they did eventually. For what it was worth, I was really good at it. I was the hardest working out of everyone on Jay's team, and that felt good. I remember the first time I heard about someone quitting. We'll call him T. All the people who are in the board plan for the first time, they're the guests in the room. They all leave, and then there's always a separate training after.
You know what's funny is every nigga feels like their hardest working nigga. But like, I don't know. At least in my first experience, I used to be on a different team. And I remember I was actually like, we had this shit where we could track our numbers, like not some bullshit that you were doing where you're going out and fucking, I don't know what the fuck you were doing, but we're going out and we're actually trying to recruit niggas, and we would count like how many phone numbers we got a week, how many phone numbers we got a day, and how many motherfuckers launched every single month. Okay, everything was tracked. And I'm not gonna lie, the team that I was on, they played politics a little bit. And motherfuckers like you, like the teacher's pet, they would like try to like, oh, well, Dick Butt got fucking three contacts this week. And I'm like, bro, I get that in like an hour. They don't really, like, some teams don't really tell you who's really working hard because they don't want you to feel bad. So they just kind of just say everyone's working hard. It's probably some liberal feminist bullshit that some of these teams do. I don't know what team you were on, but there's a lot of gay shit inside these MLMs. I'm not gonna lie.
That board plan meeting for just the people who are in business. We were at this training after the board plan meeting. After the guests had left, Jay was like, let's talk about the elephant in the room. T quit. Jay went on this tangent about how everyone he's ever seen leave WorldWide has never seen their lives improve since. They always get divorced. They lose their relationship with their children if they have any. They're stuck at their 9-to-5 for the rest of their life. Years later, he'll run into them in public and be like, oh my gosh, hey, so-and-so, how have you been? And other person will always be like, man, that honestly sucks. It hasn't gotten better. I'm really miserable and I wish that I stayed. That's what Jay would claim. And I later figured out that Jay is a pathological liar. So at this meeting, He went on this tangent, the same one that he does every time someone in a high rank quits, and they always do when they're about to hit platinum. Platinum is like the first high rank when you start seeing what's actually going on higher up, like behind the scenes, that you don't hear about or see when you're at the bottom. So that's why people quit right before they're about to go platinum. Jay starts going on this rant about T quit.
Bro, I've never heard of that. I don't know what you're just talking about.
I know a lot of you looked up to him. I know he was coaching a lot of you, but that's okay. He might give up on you guys, but Kay and I are not going to. And we'll take you under our wing because you can trust us to not let you down. It's just gonna come back to him because we've never seen anyone who's left have their life get better. He just let down his family, but just because he did doesn't mean you have to, because you're in good hands now. And that's basically the speech he gives every time someone really influential on his team quits. That was the first time.
Sounds like this thing had a lot of people quit on this team.
I remember hearing about anyone quitting, and I didn't even know that was possible. I was like, why the hell would anyone want to quit? That's like financial suicide. Why would you do that to yourself? This is the best thing that could ever be blessed upon somebody. Why would you give it up? I think I cried that night. I didn't even know T. He was on a different team because Jay had lots of teams and I was at a different team board plan, because at some point I was going to my team board plans and the other local team's board plan because I wanted extra association. So I was pretty brainwashed. He would get love bombed when you would go to those. Everyone would be like, oh my gosh, hi. Everyone hugged. Everyone said, I love you. Even if you didn't even know them that well. Like, it was very sweet and welcoming. And so they really sucked.
Bro, I feel like you'd be a fucking retard to fall for that kind of shit, though. You know what I mean? Like, what? Like, people always want to be like, oh, love bombing this, love bombing that. I've never been fucking love bombed. If anyone ever tried to fucking like give me a hug, you know, man, I think this happened like one fucking time, and I just backed up and I was like, I went for a handshake instead. Like, there's be weirdos anywhere you go, especially in a business that's built on people. So I don't know. You seem like this bitch seems like one of those kinds of weirdos that was on that shit. Like, some of these motherfuckers just join the business because they want to partake in that bullshit. I'll never forget when there was this fucking dude. I was at a function. It was like a dream night. And obviously politics, my upline at the time had some fucking goofy gooner speak, a fucking gooner went up there and he was like, oh, before I met my upline, I was beating my meat and wanting to commit suicide. You know what I mean? And I knew this guy's numbers. I knew I was working hard. I don't know why they chose him to speak. And then the motherfucker was on stage fucking crying. You know what I mean? I've never fucking cried ever. You know what I mean? And this motherfucker's crying. I think that fucking pussy quit like 2 weeks later.
You in that way, and so
It's always the weirdos, bro.
So I'd go to extra ones, and we weren't really allowed to talk to our family about our problems because that was what our coaches were for. They've only had 9-to-5 jobs their whole life, so how the hell are your parents going to teach you how to become a millionaire? So you weren't supposed to talk to your family about.
How the fuck are your parents supposed to teach you how to become a millionaire if they're poor?
Anything in your business or just the problems you had in your life. You just slowly got isolated from everyone else. You weren't allowed to talk to your cross line. You weren't allowed to talk to your family about anything or your friends, only your mentors. When Amber was coaching me, it was really helpful. Her and I had the same spiritual beliefs. Whenever she would coach me, she would give me really personalized advice. You could just tell that she cared about me. There was a lot of times she would get emotional in her Kates that she would send back to me. We really became best friends because of that. And then one day I got a text from Amber. It was like multiple messages. I was like, oh, I'm sure it's nothing. I can get back to it later. But then there was more and more and more. And then I like glanced at it and there was one that stuck out to me that said, I hope we can still be friends. And my mind went to, oh my God, I did something wrong. What did I do? I fucked up my friendship with Amber. And I started freaking out. And so I opened the text and there was just paragraphs. I read the first one and she said something along the lines of, I wanted you to hear this from me and not from J and K, but I'm quitting. My soul like left my body.
What? Why do so many niggas quit, bro? Like, I don't understand. You have motherfuckers on your team and you quit. Like, how does that make any sense, bro? You're making income. Why don't you just like step down? But motherfuckers try to like make their whole team quit when you're fucking making money already. That's like the ultimate L. Bro, imagine making like $2,000 a month and you hit everyone up. Yo, you should fucking quit. That shit makes no fucking sense. Bro, only retards do this shit. Literally. You know what I mean? How the fuck do you quit? You build a business, this bitch is coaching motherfuckers, and you're making a good $1,000, $2,000 a month, and you want to hit niggas up and tell them to quit. And these bitches just go out and they make these fucking YouTube videos like this. You know what I mean? Like, bro, it's the fucking dumb shit, bro.
What? I heard that because Amber was like my hero, like one of my biggest role models. She was my best friend. With Amber's coaching and mentorship, it actually helped me fix my relationship with my mom. Amber was like my number one. She was the person I told everything.
It sounds like what she was teaching you was good.
And I didn't tell anyone else, not even my diary. I just had put so much trust in her. Seeing her leave shook me to my core. It felt wrong.
What the fuck do you mean it shook you to the core? The bitch just left. People act like they just fucking, like, bro, what the hell? People act, when someone leaves, they act like everyone was fucking betrayed. You know what I mean? Like, if I start a fucking business and I'm like, you know, I scaled it to a certain amount, you know, like I own this fucking moving company and I scaled it to a certain amount. I'm not doing it anymore. I retired. I hired another nigga to do that shit. I'm going to go focus on fucking this massage therapy business I just started. Like, why is it this, like, oh, what the fuck? You started another business, bit where you're not doing that anymore? But even more stupid, they start telling all the niggas, they go to their own company and say, let's say, like I said, same move, we started a massage therapy business, and he goes back to his old moving company business that made him successful, and they say, hey, all y'all niggas should stop going to work. Like, what the fuck? What? Why do you, like, bro, that's the biggest fucking L ever. That makes no fucking sense. This is the only industry where people do that kind of shit. People need to start treating it like a fucking business and stop treating it like a bunch of fucking goofy ass emotional pussy shit.
Ever know this person who I have been telling all my secrets to and pouring my soul out? Like, is this someone I ever even knew? And just my mind started racing. I just was spiraling and I just started like freaking out. I had like a full breakdown in front of this guy I was seeing. He was like, I'm so sorry you lost your hero. It was a really rough night and I ended up writing a song about it that night.
Oh my god, the bitch wrote a song.
That wasn't real.
She better not fucking sing it on the fucking on the video.
Questioning, well, Amber's such a good-hearted person. If she left, then there must be some reason why that I don't know. And I should have been curious and inquisitive about it, but instead it made me like distrust her and turn against her, and I really struggled with that, and a lot of us did. We all had grown very close to her, and so it was just a very big change to not have her there anymore. From there, someone else became my coach after Amber left. We'll call him A. He always kind of talked with like this like showman type of a voice, like, oh, that's great, you know, like he just had this like interesting persona about him. So and then at some point Jay was like, me and Kay are gonna start coaching you guys now. This is a side tangent, but it was very like cisgender straight Christian viewpoint, and like they encouraged everyone to think that way.
This bitch used the pronouns. Bro, I'm sorry, I don't give a fuck. Listen, I'm gonna do what the fuck I want. I'm not recruiting any fucking woman on my team. Just because of this bullshit, these fucking pronouns, this fucking feminist bullshit, you know what I mean? Like, look, enough. They always quit. You guys want to fucking, bro, look at, for a second, if you look at any fucking Amway video of motherfuckers crying, 99% of the time it's a fucking woman. 99 fucking percent of the time it's a fucking woman saying that she quit, it was a cult, all this bullshit. And that's your guys' fault. You guys are literally going out and recruiting all these fucking women, and you want to have all these fucking women empowerment fucking board plans. Oh, well, did you know women are fucking not paid the right amount as men? Not understanding the studies that you're fucking quoting. You're not even just quoting fucking studies. You guys are pulling at their fucking emotions. And then you get shit like this. This bitch, like this, it's mental illness. Men build businesses. Men build fucking businesses, not women. And you guys are having your team self-destruct because you got these fucking bitches going out and quitting over the dumbest shit. The bitches, what the fuck is this bitch? She just says cisgender Christian bullshit. Come on now, bro. What?
Coaching me because Kay was the girl. Her coaching style was really hard to adjust to because it was very different than Amber's coaching style. Amber was very empathetic and her responses were very personalized, but Kay was very robotic about it. There wasn't a lot of empathy, and if she gave me advice and it wasn't helping, it was because I was the problem. Ever since Kay started coaching me, it just got so much harder. Like, her advice didn't work. It was just like, do this, and I would do that, and I'm like, okay, that got me a horrible result. And she's like, well, then you're the problem. problem. I was like fighting and fighting for J and K's attention, and I was getting it. Ever since Amber left, I was a new all-star student. I was so all in. I wasn't eating, I wasn't sleeping, I had horrible nutrition. I wasn't even showering. I was coached by A to stop.
Bro, okay, listen.
What?
The fuck? This bitch just said that she wasn't eating, she wasn't sleeping, she wasn't showering. The fuck were you doing?
I wasn't even taking a shit, nigga.
This bitch was holding in all her shits. Bro, and you're saying that the business is the problem. You're the fucking problem. You're the problem. What do you mean you weren't showering? Who's recruiting these people, bro? You guys are doing too much, bro. I'm sorry. You got to stop fucking recruiting these fucking retards. Fucking give me that shit. Don't recruit niggas that don't fucking wash their ass. They're not going to run any PV. That's probably why the bitch said she got scammed.
These niggas scam me into buying soap. What the fuck?
Stopped cleaning my room because I didn't have time. If I wanted to go platinum, I was just giving up everything. It got to the point where I was miserable. Like, there were multiple times where I was just suicidal because of how much stress I was under and how much pressure. And it gives you this God complex. They tell you you have all this knowledge that only you get and the rest of the world doesn't have, and so it's your responsibility to help share it with other people so you can help save their lives. You are the answer to their prayers. They basically just expected you to like save the world, especially if you're building as a single, because I was surrounded by all these people who were building as couples, and that was something I was really struggling with at the time because I felt very unlovable and like I was never gonna find my person. So lonely, and there was just all this weight on my shoulders, and I was like, all these other people have an advantage of
everyone's fucking lonely. Give me a fucking break.
Doing this in a team. I'm supposed to save the world.
Bro, listen. I would rather do